Welcome back to Rude Dude.
Welcome to the Rude Dude Recovery Podcast with your host and resident wet brains, Cam and Hen. Two dudes navigating the waves of wellness. Thanks for being here. Your presence is what makes this journey worthwhile. On today's episode, it's a celebration. 1 whole year of Rude Dude. Stick around if you like smiling, tomfoolery, and a bit of poop dickery. The dudes discuss some of the most impactful principles they've picked up from guests along the way and just straight up have a good time. Please enjoy episode 52.
And if I see you look my way, I'm ringing down, down, down. And if I were you, where are you? I'd lay low, 'cause I
Welcome back to the Rude Dude Podcast, the show where we take some weight off your plate, put the pep back in your step, and remind you that you are loved. I am your host on this very special episode 52. 1 year of Rude Dude. I am your host, Henny Lokes the Lobster, alongside my buddy, my pal, the one, the only, Cameron Crawdad Creerin the Cree Davis.
What's going on, man? Happy 52. This is absolutely
Great.
incredible. This is fantastic. And this will be the first of probably 12 pitches to get you guys onto the YouTube because you're not going to want to miss this one. The views are incredible. Henry can't blow on a fucking goddamn whatever the hell that thing's called, a party horn. We got 52 balloons in the background.
I
He's
got
got his
taco
short suit
meat.
on. Yeah, his tits are
Short
out.
suit.
I got on the Thizzler outfit.
With the tall black socks and slippers because it's cold.
And I got on a fucking octopus hat and some fuzzy glasses. So, dude,
Cameron
this
looks
is a
like
good
he
one.
just fucking mobbed down 7 purple Mac Dre's and he's ready for the fucking E40 concert in 2005.
Dude, that's actually not what's happening. But dude, it would have been ideal back in the day.
You are I'm impressed. I love it. It looks great.
Thanks, dude. Thanks.
The
man.
sheen. Oh, okay. Let's see if I can say this. The sheen God shined on me and sent my short shoots through
There you
the
go, dude.
mail. So we were blessed to be prepared for this episode with the short shoots.
Short suits, dude. Short suits, dude.
Oh,
it
yeah.
does look good. It does look good. You know, I've seen a bunch of those, and I've never actually I've been like, hey, I should buy one of those. And I guess Sheen is the way to go because you're looking fantastic.
It was like $12, bro.
Yeah, I'm buying some for sure. I'm buying
Yeah,
some.
you got to do it. Well, 1 full year, Rude Dude, my man. How do you feel? What do you say? What do you think?
To be honest with you, man, overwhelmingly, dude, I'm just really proud of us.
Mhm.
Like I can't really overstate the fact that me accomplishing anything for a year straight, how rare that is for a
Yep.
person like me, and the fact that you and I have done it together, we've held each other accountable, and we've impacted some lives along the way. It could bring a tear to my eye, and it really just excites me, dude. It really just excites me for where the future lies. If we can do 1 year, we can do 2, and if we can do 2, we can do 3, and you know, Rude Dude worldwide. So, how are you feeling today, dude?
I'm feeling better. I'm feeling good. The Devil Gipper tried to keep us down on our scheduled day to record 52. The power went out. I think another tree fell on the power lines down the road. We have this like big hill across the road, and then the power lines are on the other side, and these trees have just been fucking dropping on the power lines. So he tried to hold us down. He's preying on our downfall, that Devil Gipper, but we won't be held down.
Dude, the Devil Gipper has been coming pretty hardcore lately, dude. And
Yeah.
so we're recording at 3:00 on a Saturday. We made it happen no matter what, but the Devil Gipper's been coming for all of us, real tight. And I wonder if it's a universal thing. I wonder if anybody else is feeling the Devil Gipper's presence, because he seems to be around a lot.
He's strong. He wears sharp suits, and he He's probably in one of these nice short suits, but it's like a real fancy silk one. Not purchased off Shein. He got it at like Saks Fifth Avenue, and he's out here looking good, trying to steer you the wrong direction.
That's right, dude. The devil wears a suit and tie. That's all it is, dude. That's all it is. But we have overcome, dude. So we got a whole bunch of stuff to get into today. And first and foremost, Hen, I'm looking at the notes, and we got play count and top episodes. How about you give us a quick little rundown of our total play count up to 52?
Well, we just crunched the old numbers between Spotify, Apple, and everywhere else you guys are listening, and we have 5,126 total plays.
Not too shabby. Let's get a round of applause.
Not
There we
too
go.
shabby. Just round of applause for our listeners, for you
Yes,
guys.
this is all you guys. This is an appreciation episode as well.
That's right. What else? We got top episode,
Which
is a newer one because our listening has grown very rapidly in the last month or so, basically since
Randall Brown, and the crown goes to RB. RB, I will hold strong and firm. I'll give you this crown now, but I think that Henry's story and my story would have been the number one episodes if we did not. We weren't on Apple at the time, but since we are in the current moment, RB's episode is the number one episode of all time. A lot of people got a lot out of that. I think it's a fantastic episode. From that episode, I actually still quote, "Damn, 6 months clean. Damn." And even where he's laughing, dude. And I love that episode. He's such a cool guy, dude.
Yeah, and that really says something about the growth of the last few months because our 2 episodes and the intro were the most listened to episodes, and they have been overcome in just like 1 month. So everything's really picking up right now, and it's really exciting.
It is really exciting, man. And it all once again comes back to all you listeners, all the dedicated people of the fucking Rude Gang. We have a lot of countries that we have plateaued or at least touched from Spotify.
Plateaued, huh?
Not plateaued. Well, I guess we kind of have because they don't seem to stick around, but they at least listen. I'll do the first part of the list here. We have had a Kenyan listener, a Canadian listener, a Mexican, a Belgian, which I'm going to get back to here shortly.
Fucker.
You fucking asshole. Someone in the UK, Australia, New Zealand, Norway, the Netherlands, Ireland, South Africa, Spain, Bahamas, Ghana, Puerto Rico. If we go on to RSS, there's Japan, there's Russia, there's Costa Rica, like I think I just said. A whole bunch of everything. So Rude Dude Worldwide, brother. Rude Dude Worldwide. How do you feel about that, Hen?
Well, I don't like how you said it. I don't like how you said a listener in each of those countries because it's potentially more than one, dickhead.
It's true.
But a large percentage, 99% of our listeners are in the United States. So it's definitely a small number, but they're there.
They are there.
Rude Dude Worldwide.
Rude Dude Worldwide. That's going to bring me back to this point. If you are a dedicated listener and you were around here from the beginning, we really did try to hammer home to get the Belgian to talk to us, and the Belgian never talked to us.
No.
The Belgian has disappeared. I think when I sound the arms of the angels that we actually did say goodbye to the Belgian because I haven't seen any action from him. So Belgian, the offer still stands. And in honor of 1 year of Rude Dude, I just had to bring you up because it has been a long time.
We'd like to take this opportunity to tell you to eat our ass because you never contacted us, and we love you, and you hate us, and so you can take a long walk off a short pier.
Straight up, dude. Straight up from the back. Actually, see how I was nice about it. I was trying to be nice, but
I was waiting for you to turn.
Well, dude, that's how I really feel because how many times?
The notes say "fuck you, Belgian," so I thought you were gonna go in on them.
Well, you know what, dude? I was trying to be a little more profesh, but dude, since we're here, fuck you, Belgian. We literally prayed and begged for you to fucking reach out to us, and you just told us to suck a dick straight up. So the Belgian can eat it, dude, from the back.
Sagen und dicken.
That sounds like some Deutschland, dude. Old German.
I think it's similar.
Oh yeah, we have some German listeners too.
Do you have anything you want to start with here, Cam?
So for me, I kind of wanted to go over my favorite episode. I'm gonna ask you this: what episode do you think was my favorite, Hen?
Your favorite. I want to say Randall Brown, but for some reason I feel like you're gonna throw me a curveball.
Massive curveball, dude. Live, Laugh, Love was my favorite one, dude. The addition of the Creerin. We were talking about Lance Bass and his frosted tips coming out of the closet. There were a lot of really, really good laughs in Live, Laugh, Love, man. That I don't know, man. I listened to that episode a few times because it was just so damn funny. I thought it was great, dude. I thought it was
Dude,
great.
that Creerin, when we figured out that you were the Creerin because you wanted everybody to live, laugh, and love, that was fantastic.
Dude, it was so awesome. Creerin demands to speak to the manager, dude. What's your favorite episode, dude?
Oh, well, I always come back to, and I don't even know that it was the best episode because it's older and we've gotten a lot better since then. But I love Boundaries. I really love Boundaries, and that episode did pretty well. And I think a lot of people got a lot from that. But my sleeper pick, which this episode didn't do that great numbers wise, but Jeremy Miller, man, he was such a good guest. And this is not to put any of our other guests down. We've had all our guests have been awesome, but he had some really awesome shit to say. And that episode just did not do a lot of numbers.
It didn't, dude. And we talk about this all the time.
Surprisingly.
How it's the biggest tragedy of all, because he had nothing but wisdom and was just spitting nothing but hot flames the entire time. Incredibly lucid, incredibly intelligent, and incredibly self-aware. And the way that he was able to speak that into existence just by his overall demeanor sitting on his patio, that was a fantastic episode. So I agree with you. I actually have learned to love almost every single episode that we've done. I pick Live, Laugh, Love because it was just so damn funny, man. It was just we're sitting there talking and we made the connection and had that genuine laughter, and it was a fun episode. But Jeremy's is super fire and definitely got neglected. So if you're listening to this and you still haven't listened to that, give yourself a treat and go listen to that episode. I just had a stroke.
There's a couple things I remember from the Jeremy episode that I really held on to. One of them was he said, just remember, this is your parents' first time living this life too. And I feel like part of the reason I enjoyed Jeremy's episode so much was without having really listened to our show much, he made all the points that we make all the time. And sometimes he made them better than we do. But we talk a lot about finding grace for your parents or finding grace for someone who is having a rough time or cussed you out or did whatever. As far as your parents or anyone, like, it's their first time living this life too. We put people on this pedestal like they're supposed to know better and do better, but they're all just humans like us, right? And I thought that was such a good, succinct statement that really just shows a point that we've talked about a lot on here.
Yeah, man. You know what was funny is I actually brought that up. It was Justin's daughter's birthday party, and I was talking with one of my cousins who was there, and he was complaining about his parents, and I brought up exactly what we talked about there. I was like, it's their first time around here too, dude. Like, you know what I mean? And I think it's a very important thing to keep bringing up because I sure as hell can forget about it for everybody. That rule doesn't just apply for parents, right? Like it's everybody, every human that you come encounter with is doing their best. You know what I mean? Like we're all just, these little flesh suits running around trying to figure it out, trying to do the best we can for the most part. But we can sit here and be like, well, what the hell is this guy's problem? Well, fuck, dude. He's just trying to play the game too.
Yeah. Another thing that he said that I loved was he said, I believe everything that you create in this world serves a purpose and brings value to someone, even if that person is just you. And that last distinction is important. Like, if you like doing art, but you think you suck and you don't think anyone will like it, so what? It doesn't matter if anyone else likes it. If you like it, if it brings you joy, then fucking do it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, I love that. And actually, for me, the way I kind of interpreted that is how all of our actions how all of our actions have these unseen consequences, right? Like the smallest action that you do throughout the day has these unseen ripple effects. And it could either ruin somebody's day, or you could make somebody's entire day, which is then going to in turn affect the people that come in contact with them after that. And it's this whole thing. And if we can actually see, and I'm not trying to get all hippy dippy here, but it really is one big connected journey. And if we can just stop being assholes to each other, I think the world would be a lot better place. So that's the way I kind of saw what he was saying. But I do see where you're getting at with, even if it's just for you, like that is very important. I do paint by numbers because I can't paint,
Yeah.
a fucking masterpiece without it. But hey, I enjoy it. You know what I mean? And that's all that matters.
Yeah, and you're right. There's also the other side of that is like, sharing at a meeting, some of the things that you say that you might think are completely insignificant, if one person resonates with what you said and it helps that one person, then that's worth it. That's the thing about even this show. We love doing it. We would probably do it if no one listened. And if one person gets some help from each show, if we've only helped 52 people, then that's enough. That's totally enough, because this is a game that we're playing that's life and death out here. And if we even helped one person in this 1 year, if one person made a decision that kept them alive, that would be worth it, right?
Yeah, and actually, I'm gonna say that's not an if, that is we have, because we've been reached out to by multiple people saying that we have helped them, and that has been a part of this podcast journey that we've had over this last year that has really made an impact on my life, and I know it makes an impact on yours. The fact that something that us two wet brain idiots can sit here and say, but it resonates with somebody and it makes them not want to go use, or they can sit there and feel like connected to us and feel, normal, is the greatest thing in the world, man. It's not an if, it has happened, and hopefully it continues to keep happening. I want to keep helping as many people as I can. And so, or we can, shall I say. So yeah, dude, it's the age old thing. You never know who's listening and what your small impact can do.
And there's something to that as well. My sister, I believe, was the first person to give us this compliment. Or it could have been, actually, you know what? It was probably Brittany, your cousin. And my sister echoed it, and maybe one or two other people have said it. But we have created this safe space for honesty and vulnerability. And the honesty and vulnerability that we bring allows our guests and our listeners to be honest and vulnerable. And as you were talking about the people we've affected and touched, or whatever, touch sounds a little high and mighty of me, but here we are.
It's got the short suit.
I had someone reach out very recently, and she'll know who she is, and I'm not going to divulge, obviously, but she basically told me something, opened up to me about something that she said she's never really told anyone. And we had a really long conversation about it. And I felt so honored that she felt comfortable to tell me what she was telling me, and that through this thing that I do, it made someone, I knew her back in the day, but we weren't like close friends, and we haven't probably talked personally in 10, 15, maybe 20 years. So the fact that I created this thing that made almost like a stranger want to confide in me and share this very, very personal, very heavy, very important thing, like that is what we do this for. And that was such an incredible feeling. And Kristen and I had somewhere to be, and I was like, babe, I think you understand, but this is so important. I'm like, she's opening up to me right now. She needs this. And I feel honored. I have to. And Kristen's like, of course. Yeah. Do what you got to do. And I sat there and went back and forth with her for a while, 'cause that was one of the coolest things that's probably ever happened to me, especially from this podcast.
Yeah, man. I think that is one of the greatest compliments that we have received. And it's something that I'm going to turn on its head and kind of give us a little stroke job for it. Hats off to you and hats off to me for this is ego central for being willing to be vulnerable so that we can create this space. And Hen and I sit here. Here's a little insider information for everybody. Hen and I like to sit and we talk about this. Some people tell us that we're brave, right? I've heard that before. Like, it's really brave of you to sit here and say this type of stuff. Hen and I have said this a million times. I literally don't care. This is who I am. And Henry feels the same exact way, because if we were to withhold this information, that conversation that Henry's just talking about never happens. And so the fact that we have the sack to sit here and be real and keep it 100 and have no shame. I mean, a few episodes this season, this 52 episodes, you've listened to blood, sweat, and tears, right? We've had relapses, we've had crazy things happen, right? And we've literally sat here and just been raw as all hell. I mean, I didn't have to sit here even on my story, right, and tell you that I was staring at a loaded gun, right? I mean, what are we talking about? I mean, that's nobody's business. But whose business it is? It's somebody else out there who might feel the same exact way, who can hear that and go, "Hey, there is a way out of this, and this is not an option." So that's why we have these conversations, just like the ones that Henry was just having. It's for that exact reason. I didn't say that very well, but you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, it's like that quote, "We recover out loud because we suffered in silence for so long."
Yeah.
And if you're out there suffering in silence, thinking that no one has gone through the things that you've gone through or thinks the things that you think, here we are, surprise, we're fucked up and we've gone through this shit and we're just trying to figure it out. And that's kind of the whole point, man. We're just trying to figure it out, and we want to bring you along for the journey.
Yeah, man. And I think there's nothing more beautiful than that, in my opinion. There really isn't. And this is still another shout out to everybody who has reached out saying that we've helped. Shout out to our boy Josiah, everybody who's listened. Scott Shaw.
We never had, I have to say, with Scott, great friend of ours, but we didn't talk to him that much, and we never had anywhere near the conversations that we have with him now before we started this podcast. He would have never probably felt comfortable to open up to us about some of the things he has had he not realized what we were doing here.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, it's another testament.
That's been such an awesome piece of it. Just those conversations with him.
Yeah, and you have a separate group chat where you have 3 dudes in their mid-30s talking about feelings and shit, and you can, a manly man can sit here and hear that and be like, well, that's pretty non-manly, but actually, dude, it's the most manly shit you can do, man, because we're sitting here talking our problems out, supporting each other and comfortable in our own goddamn skin. So if you got a problem with it, you can eat my octopus ass, dude. And that's what I got to say about that. And you got to hop on the YouTube. Here's my second fit pitch. You got to see this outfit. You got to see the short suit. You got to get on the YouTube and check this shit out.
Dude, I just started laughing, not because of what you're saying, but because of what you're saying with the current fit that you have right now.
Dude, that was the whole point. I was literally sitting here.
Are those furry glasses? Like, what's going on with those?
Yeah, dude, they're furry glasses, dude.
Oh, this is elite.
Yeah, dude, they're fantastic. They're my daughters, bro. So I was sitting here, dude, in the pre-studio waiting for you to join. A little insider information again. And I was literally like, dude, how is Henry gonna take anything I'm saying serious with this fucking outfit on, dude? Like, I'm literally like sitting here trying to have these, intellectually strong conversations looking like a goddamn clown. It's hilarious, man.
All right, well, let's talk. I want to talk about a few more episodes before we move on from that section. The other one that was really powerful, and it's reflected in the stats, is Brittany, your cousin Brittany. And you told me she's got a good story. It's going to be good. I was like, okay. This was early on, so I don't know her. And I was like, I don't, whatever. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it won't. But that episode was so powerful for me in particular, because she is the child of an addict and I am the addict parent of a child. So I was, in essence, her mom in this story. And the connections that I made from that, the hearing an adult vocalize what basically my child experienced was so heart-wrenching and interesting. And I think that's my favorite part about the guests that we have is even when I know them, I learn things that I don't know about them because I've never sat down and had an hour-long conversation about who they are. But yeah, that episode was very powerful, and I think it's the only one my daughter's listened to, my 17-year-old daughter, because I asked her to, and she appreciated that. It helped us connect more, so that one was really awesome.
Yeah, and I want to take a moment here to actually shout out Britt again because she's one of the forefront supporters. Brittany shares almost every single one of our podcasts. Britt, I know you're a dedicated listener. We love you to death over here at Rude Dude, and I mean that. That's not even because we're related. Thank you for all your support. But I think the beauty of that episode is just exactly what you just said. Connections were made, right? Things you probably had thought about, but then they really solidified during that episode. And then actually getting Katie to sit there and listen to it, and then now that helps you have more conversations with her to try to heal those past ill wills that may exist. What's more beautiful than that, dude? Brittany's episode was fantastic, and it meant a lot to me because I kind of saw it a little bit too, right? Like my Aunt Patrice was a hot mess. There was a lot to come out of that episode. It's one of my favorites as well.
That's growing up with an addict parent with Britt. Well, let's see. The one with my sister was really cool, and then Justin, obviously. So us coming on here, and I think that kind of laid some of the groundwork for us being really raw and real of being like, hey, here's this person that we hurt, and we're gonna give them the opportunity to come on here, tell us and everyone else how we hurt them. And her and I had never really had that conversation, not at that sort of length. And so finding out stuff from her perspective and listening to what she had to say and coming to some realizations, that was really awesome. How'd you feel about that episode with your brother?
Justin's, I walked into it thinking like, hey, I had done my amends with him and everything was fine, but there was a little more extra oomph to it because it was on the pod. I don't know why. When I was sitting next to him, there was a few of those icky feelings, like it was like that shame, the shame monster. Dude, I'm gonna keep talking. I'm gonna keep talking, dude. This is fantastic. Here's petition number 3. Get on YouTube to watch Henry not be able to take me serious. This is fantastic.
He looks like Lil Jon fucking went on a spaceship and like ate an octopus's butthole. Got stuck inside of it. Dude. And then he's sitting here trying to like bare his soul with these fucking furry glasses on. Oh my god, dude. And I'm like trying to keep it cool. And it's just like this fucking alien that I'm talking to. Jesus.
Episode 52, dude. We haven't had a good laugh session like this in a while.
We needed it.
Oh god, dude. All right, so
anyways,
man.
super serious about Justin.
it made me really uncomfortable.
Oh,
it was real uncomfortable, but you know what, dude? I think some healing came out of that one, and I think the same thing happened with Max. Mac, sitting there saying, "Hey, I thought you were, I had resigned you to being dead." I had already accepted that. There was some funny parts in that episode too, though. I mean, we figured out that you were Edgar from Men in Black. I mean, there was more vodka.
More vodka. It was like it was Henry, somebody wearing a Henry suit. He just kept asking for more vodka.
dude, I feel like Edgar in this outfit right now, bro. But yeah, dude, those were hard hitting episodes, and I actually talked to my dad. My dad is willing to come on here, so one of these days we may have Papa C on here, and I think that might be rather interesting.
Yeah. Another one that we just recently had, Ray Glimpf was awesome. That was very inspiring for me. And he said a few things that I wanted to touch on here. And one that really fired me up was amateurs don't have a coach, professionals have a coach. And when I heard that, I was like, that's fucking right. Because there are coaches for everything. And I think a lot of people, the barrier is like, I don't want to pay somebody X amount of dollars or something I can figure out on my own. But the most successful people have and more importantly, professional athletes. And I mean, the top of the top all have coaches. I was watching that Full Swing the other day, and Rory McIlroy, one of the best golfers in the world, was sitting there with a swing coach. Like there is no like I'm better than everyone else, so I don't need a coach. Like the top athletes in all the world, Kobe Bryant had a coach, LeBron has a coach. You know what I mean? Like, and that was eye opening for me because, like I said, I'm trying to learn from mistakes of the past and know when to get some outside help from people that know better than me when it's appropriate.
And the great tie-in that you made with that was actually sponsorship, right? Same principle in the 12 steps. Like it's like, hey, here's somebody who knows better than I do, right? And that's kind of what we do when we select a sponsor. And you are right. There are people who have a bunch of mentors, right? Like most of these highly successful people are underneath some sort of tutelage from somebody who was better than them. And that's how they learn. And it comes to setting your ego aside, right? Like that age old, like I can figure it out myself. Well, you might be able to figure it out yourself, but I bet you don't reach half your potential if you actually let someone who is better than you at what you're trying to do tell you how to do it. Because there's winners in this world, and if you want to follow them, you should probably follow them and you should probably listen to what the fuck they're saying. It works in sobriety when you do it right. I can tell you that much.
Stick with the winners. Stick with the people with the black key tags.
That's right, dude. That's right.
The other thing that he said was, everything that happens to me is because of me. And to be honest with you, I don't agree with that 100%. I don't think that's true, but I do like the attitude behind it. And I understand the reasoning behind it. The reasoning is like, what can I do better to put myself in a better position that these things don't happen to me? And I do think a lot of negative things happen to people often that like it is a result of their actions. It is a result of the lack of effort, lack of practice, lack of working harder or paying better attention, or you know what I mean? Like there are actually a lot of problems that we as humans create for ourselves that I don't think a lot of people often recognize that, yeah, this was actually my fault. Like I didn't do well on this test because I didn't study hard enough or so on and so forth. And I just thought that was a profound lesson. Like I said, it seems a little extreme, but I get the idea behind it. And I like the, taking personal responsibility and asking what I can do better, because you know why? Here's the payoff. We only control what we do. We don't control anything beyond these fucking fingertips. We only control right here. So the question is, what can I do that's within my control? How can I change this? And in Ray's case, with that phrase, what he's saying is there's something I can do better to get a better result or make this better.
I got to say, I think it could be misconstrued as a pretty egotistical statement, right? Like it can, but I get what he's saying. It's I can make more things happen, right? It's kind of the way I interpret it is nobody else is going to do it but me. Nobody else is going to do it but me. And that's the way he kind of sees it, right? And I don't think he meant it from like an egotistical way. It's just that, hey, if I want 100 doors, like in his example, nobody's going to give me 100 properties for free. Like I have to go out here and make this dream happen. And the same thing goes for sobriety as well, right? Like we have to actively try to obtain it. Just like you have to actively, try to do well at your job or actively try to be a better husband or a friend or anything. None of those things just happen organically. You have to put effort in. And I think that's kind of what, or at least that's how I interpret it. I think that's what he was trying to say.
Yeah, that was a good episode. And then, one of the coolest things that Cassidy had a really good episode, and she's really raw and real with her story. Her honesty was incredible. But one of the things that I highlighted that I thought was awesome was we don't have the luxury of criticizing how people choose to recover with the rate at which people are dying.
Boom.
That's talking about like people who criticize MAT and all that kind of stuff. I mean, she said it perfectly. I don't even need to add to it, but any way that a person comes to recovery or does their recovery, or any way that a person is not using meth, heroin, or alcohol, or whatever their drug of choice is in a day, is a good thing.
Yeah, man. I thought that was a really profound statement. And it kind of goes without saying, right? Like how are we going to sit here and judge how somebody is staying alive, right? And
Mhm.
attempting to turn their lives around. And especially she really did hammer home the point, like for any of our normies out here, our normie listeners, people are dropping like flies nowadays. Like I have a firm belief that if we were living, Henry and I, in today's society, I would have already been dead, right? We would have got one of these pills, Henry, that would have been laced with fentanyl, and we'd be dead
Mhm.
in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fucking terrifying. And so if somebody is having to use Suboxone or methadone to help them not use heroin or whatever else their drug of choice is, so that they don't sit there and get a bad pill or take a hot shot and die, then why the fuck why would anybody have a problem with that? I just don't understand that train of thinking, and I'm glad that she was able to say that on this pod and kind of perish on that hill, because it's important. And I think sometimes we can get judgmental in the recovery community, and I hate that shit.
Yep. The newcomer is the most important person, and sometimes we forget that, you know.
Yeah, I hate it.
Another thing I was thinking was like with Charlie and Nash and even Brandon, what's so fun how I talked about how I learned things about people that I know that I never knew, but Charlie told us the story of, isn't that cool? Or
Yeah.
don't you like that? Isn't that cool? Of he says it all the time at work, and I've always been like, God, this guy's fucking with me and being a prick, or whatever. And he
Mhm.
told the story of how he ran a very expensive machine off of a hillside and like destroyed it. And he's like, "Oh my God, Dad, look at what we did." And he goes, "Isn't that cool? Don't you love
Yeah.
that?" And he's
Yep.
like, "No," and he was all pissed off. But and the lesson behind it was like, let shit go. Shit happens. What are we gonna do? It's already done, so might as well laugh about it. And stuff like that, man, has just been so cool.
Yeah, I think every single one of those interviews had their own little gems in it if you listened hard enough, right? Like I admired Nash's humility. I admired his acceptance of his current life status and his ability to flip it into a positive, right? Like if you listen to that episode, he had an HIV diagnosis, ended up changing his life. He said on this podcast verbatim that it is a blessing, right? And if
Mhm.
someone came to me today, if I opened a letter or got a call from the doctor saying I had HIV, I could tell you I would not be responding with, "Wow, the Lord is blessing me with this wonderful fucking diagnosis." Like, dude, that's not happening. So I admire him for that. The trailer in the cut, like, hey, he has his dreams, he has the things that he wants to go after. I loved Brandon's episode. That was really good. Listening to his moped and fucking drone story was hilarious. It seems like his ego finally tampered down, and that's what eventually got him sober. I love Charlie's. I wasn't there for, but it was a really good episode. I enjoyed listening to him shitting on a pole. That's
That's
impressive.
right. I forgot that you weren't even there for that.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I don't know what the hell I was doing. What the hell was I doing that week?
The devil gipper must have been on your ass.
Dude, the devil giver, bro. I'm telling you. That was another one that was really good, actually, since we're sitting here talking about episodes. The relapse episode with the Gipper was fantastic. That was hilarious. I actually really liked one that didn't get a lot of run, but I like the gatekeeping one because I think it was something important to talk about with the unspoken rule that addicts and alcoholics and AA or NA and all this, how there's this separation. And I think we're doing a really good job of showing that that doesn't exist by the people that we interview on this podcast, right? Like we're two alcoholics, Henry, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we did drugs and shit, but majority of the people that we interview are actually drug addicts, right? And we're sitting here showing like, hey, same thing, same person, same people, we're all the same goal. We need to sometimes take down these barriers. And sometimes, dude, when you walk into some of these AA meetings with some of these hard-nosed old timers, dude, it can make you fucking sick. Like how they treat people who come in there saying they're an addict. And so I was proud of us for doing that episode, to be honest with you.
don't want to forget anybody. Everybody we've had on here has been awesome. Kristen has come on twice, and she was awesome. She also has a great voice for radio. Not that, I mean, she's got a face for TV too, let's be honest. But she has a great voice, and she was really honest and raw with us on the story of her dad. And we really need your queen to come on here and give us her side of the story as well. So, Ashley, I'm going to call you out right now.
Straight up, dude. I cannot get her to muster up the courage to do it. Like she's so afraid, and I think it's because, you know what's hilarious is I listen to her in meetings, like sit here and talk to all these important people all day, and she's completely well spoken and fantastic. But for some reason, the Kristen episode intimidated her because Kristen's so well spoken. She's like, I don't sound that good. I'm kind of shy. I don't want to do that. People are going to think I'm weird. I'm like, just shut up and get on the goddamn podcast and tell them that I was an asshole and now I'm not. You know what I mean? Like
I
come
used
on.
to be an addict, and now I'm not.
And now I'm not. Now I'm actually worse. I'm just pissed off all the time. Yeah. But no, we do got to get Ash on. It's something I've been trying to work out the logistics because with the kids and shit. But we'll get her on, and that'll actually be a really powerful episode if you want to talk about powerful episodes.
Come on, Ash, bring it.
She got put through the ringer with old Cam Cakes here, dude. To be honest with you, so
yeah, we need
that's
that.
for sure. Yeah.
Well, I have something here that's like kind of random, but it's something that happened to me and something that I think is important to talk about. And I told someone that I was going to Greece with my fiance to get married there instead of blowing all my money on napkins and plates and chairs and tables. I thought I would blow it on, the best vacation of my life.
Preach.
And somebody was like, that's dumb. Why would you do that? Why would you want to go? America's the best country. We got a nice, cool place. And I, for a moment, I'm very impressionable sometimes. And I, for a moment, was like, oh, maybe that is a bad idea. Oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing that. Oh, and the devil Gipper was in my ear like, look here, see, it is a stupid idea. You don't want to do that, huh?
You're fucking stupid.
Arizona to the Grand Canyon, huh? And then I remembered, excuse me, go fuck yourself and fuck that noise. So what I wrote down here is, don't let people with smaller dreams than you smash yours. And it's okay for someone to have a different idea of what they think is cool and what they think is fun and what they want to do with their time and their money. But that doesn't mean they get to tell you what you should do or you need to believe them. And I don't think this doesn't just apply to, obviously my Greece vacation. It's like someone saying, oh, you guys are going to do a podcast? Man, that's really hard to get into. That's really hard to have a big audience. Oh, that's really hard to keep going. Oh, that's a lot. So fucking what? A lot of people aren't going to believe your vision. A lot of people are going to think it's too hard. It's too much work. It's unachievable, this, that, and the third. And you know what we say to those people? Fuck that. You stay in your shitty little world bubble that you live in of your small dreams. And that's okay. If you just want to live in this, shitty little house and complain about your shitty job and whatever. And this is not like a money thing. This is, whatever is your idea of good enough or success or whatever is cool for you. For me, I have a bigger idea. I have a bigger dream that I want to go achieve. And the point of this whole rant is, don't let those people with their smaller dreams crush yours.
Absolutely, dude. And this is a really age-old saying. Ready? Opinions are like assholes, and everybody's got one.
And they all stink.
Exactly. So everybody's going to have an idea of what they think is awesome and what they think is stupid. I sure as hell do. But it's not my place to tell Henry that, hey, your Greece trip, you should, like I said, you should go to the Grand Canyon. Why are you going to the Greece trip? Hey, man, if you want to go to Greece and elope, you know what? Godspeed, dude. Have fun. Please do. Enjoy yourself. Is that what you want to do with your limited amount of time on this spinning fucking rock? Then go and do it. Go and do it. It doesn't matter what anybody has to say about that. So yeah, it comes back to what you said. Whatever anybody's idea of happiness is, I'll go back to the Nash episode. He wants a trailer in the cut with a junk pile, right? And for certain
Yes.
people, for some of our California listeners, be like, dude, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you know what I mean?
That
There's
would
somebody
make
who has
him happy.
that would make him at the utmost amount of happiness, and that is all that matters to him. And it's not your fucking purpose to sit there and have an opinion on it, like, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect you in any which way. It's you just trying to impose your opinion on somebody, and it's complete ass. And the moment we stop doing that type of stuff, the happier you'll be, because it's just like another form of gossip, right? Like, the person that said that to you probably went home like, you hear that Henry's gonna go to Greece, and really it actually probably stems from jealousy, because they've never been outside the fucking states and they want to go to Greece and they can't, and they're mad at you about it. And I may be off base with that, but you get what the hell I'm saying, right? And I think it's a great idea. I think it's fantastic. I like the idea of the thought of, don't let people with their small dreams come and try to shit on yours, whatever they may be. You want to open a parrot cafe and it has parrots everywhere. Open your parrot cafe. You want to, help sick dogs, and it's going to take a lot of time and effort. Well, just because people don't have the time or the effort to accomplish that goal doesn't mean you can't. So quit listening to people and their shitty opinions. And I'm with you on that, Henry. I'm very impressionable. I think it's my empathy, right? Like, when somebody tells me something, I will kind of take it to heart, and I really vibe off of vibes. If there's like a negative vibe somewhere, like, it brings my ass down, and then the devil gipper comes in and tries to get me, and it's a wild time. Sorry, that was a kind of silly rant.
No, I don't think it was silly at all. We talked about this too, where it's like, people who try to make people feel bad about things that they like are really the worst kind of people. Like,
Hell
he wants to go to Greece, or he likes Taylor Swift, or he like whatever they think, because you think it's gay, or you think it's whatever, like, that's super fucking lame. Just let people enjoy themselves. He wants a trailer with a junk pile. Jeez. And that's what I mean, is Nash might think that my dreams are silly. I don't think he would, but for example, and he doesn't get to tell me, and I don't get to tell him. It's funny because I drive around with Nash all the time, and I'll be like, oh, look at that. And it's like an old 92 F-250 rusted out with like a homemade flatbed on it. He's like, ooh, that's badass. And I'm like, for a while, I was kind of like, really? Like, this is what this guy likes? But he's done it so consistently. I'm like, okay, this is what he likes. And it's opened my eyes to be like, oh yeah, that's what he likes, and that's okay. It's different from what I like, but that's okay. We're each allowed to like our own sort of thing and have our own dreams, and everyone looks different, and that's okay. Everyone should look different. I don't want you to have the same dream as me. But just because somebody else doesn't approve of it, or it's not their dream, doesn't mean it shouldn't still be mine.
It's a form of trying to rob people of their uniqueness, right? Everybody can be your own unique self. You kind of want to sit here. Here's a great example of this. Henry and I are polar opposites, right? Like, you want to talk about music taste, right? Like, Henry listens to a lot of rap, right? Like, dude, like I listen to like crazy ass, like raging death metal and black metal. We've talked about it on here. That's not Henry's jam. Right? I don't tell Henry to stop listening to rap music. He doesn't tell me to stop listening to metal. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I was raised Catholic, and Henry wasn't. We don't try to tell each other that those ideas are fucking stupid or anything like that. Like, it's just everybody trying to impose your will on somebody just because you don't agree with it, and we need to stop doing that. It doesn't matter. I don't understand why people get such a hard on trying to tell people what they want, what they choose to do with their life, like it's their fucking business, dude. Like, I don't get that, and the internet's made it worse, and that's a conversation for another fucking time, though.
That is so true, though. Like, the keyboard warriors and like people arguing about anything because their opinion is the most important or right. It's a little ridiculous.
Dude. Some people need to get punched in the face, dude. Like, I think if people just got punched in the face, a lot of this shit talking would stop. It really would. I think if people just, popped off and got clocked in the nose like I did by that homeless person, it would change some lives.
Is that a Mike Tyson quote where he's like, problem is too many people be sitting there behind keyboards and they don't get punched in the face no more?
Yeah, it is a Mike Tyson quote. I've seen it, and it's super true though, right? Because everybody's got this.
Because those people, 95% of those people would not say that flesh to flesh.
No,
what they're saying on the comments.
You need to pump those numbers up, Haas. I think it's closer to like 99. These people aren't saying any of that shit, dude. You know what I mean? Because that's a quick way to actually get yourself punched in the fucking face. But like I said, that's another conversation for another time.
Well, I mean, we got this. The universe won't give you more than you can handle. And I've noticed that in the universe or God, you know, whatever you choose to believe in. But I've noticed that where you get these blessings or don't get these blessings, and I think it's important to maybe think of it in a way of the blessings you don't get, because maybe it wasn't your time. It's kind of like if these things that you were hoping for that you didn't get, I think a nice way to reframe it is like you just weren't ready for that blessing or that experience or that thing that you wanted. You weren't ready for it yet, and when you are, it will come to you.
I'm a firm believer that everything comes in time, and it comes in time. I guess as stupid as it sounds, when you're ready. It's true, right? Like I wasn't ready for everything that I have in my life when I was in active addiction, right? Those things were sitting there waiting for me to be ready for them. I wasn't ready to be a parent. I wasn't ready to be a husband. I wasn't ready to be a son. I wasn't ready to be a brother. I wasn't ready to be in anything, right? And then slowly but surely, God gave it to me as I started getting better and started doing the right thing. And when you do that, it's amazing how these things happen. I've brought this up before in this podcast, and you'll hear it ad nauseum in meetings and shit. But man, like you start doing the things that you're supposed to do, and it's unexplainable. It's unexplainable because it is like what you just said. Yeah, everything falls into place like it was scripted or something like that, right? Like, oh, hey, these are these dreams that I was hoping for, or that I would be upset about when I was drunk and sitting there by myself. And look at it. It's all happening right now in front of my face. And you can miss it if you're not paying attention. You really can. And you can take it for granted. I know I can. Nowadays. Like I can sit here and look around, and then all of a sudden I have to have a come to Jesus talk where I'd be like, hey, dude, like, when I'm really spiraling out of control and anxiety, like you literally never left your apartment and we're drinking vodka at like 6 a.m. and shit. Take a look around and see what your life is right now. Like you have beautiful children and a wife that loves you and a house and all these things. It's not like those things, I need those things to be happy, but it's a hell of a lot better than how things were 6 fucking years ago. So can we pump the brakes? But yeah, I think everything falls into place when we start doing the right thing. And that's just being good, loving, compassionate humans, because we're all one. And that is the fact coming from the octopus man over here, dude. Go watch this on YouTube.
All right, man. Well, I think we should grind some gears and then get to our closing shtick and get out of here. What do you think about that?
Let's do that, dude. Let's do that. Why don't you kick it off?
Well, we got to shout out Cassidy because she said 2 things that we say in the show without even really being a big listener. But in her episode, she said, you know what really grinds my gears? And she also said, what was the other one that we always use?
She would die on a hill.
Oh, dying on a hill. Yeah.
Yep,
She said
yep.
2 things that are favorites of the show. So that was cool. But the first one I got to start with is choose your ad experience. Motherfucker, just play the goddamn commercial and play my show. I don't prefer one ad over another. I don't want to pick. And guess what? All you're doing is dicking around. I'm fucking over here playing on my phone for a second, waiting for my show to start. And you're just prolonging the process because you haven't started the goddamn ad because you want me to fucking pick. You want me to, would you like to stab a needle in your right eye or your left eye? I don't know. Just stab my fucking eye. Neither, motherfucker. Okay?
Dude, where are you seeing this? Where are they giving you custom ads?
Hulu?
Hulu?
I think it's Hulu. Yeah.
Really? I have yet to see that, dude. No way in hell. Do you pay for like the Supreme Hulu, or are you on like the low end Hulu?
No, it's the one that has like live television because that's what I watch sports on.
Yeah, me too. It is elite. I do like the Hulu for the sports.
You haven't ever seen the choose your ad experience?
Bro, it doesn't give me that shit. I don't have it. So I must that must be like a West Virginia.
Yeah, we are living in the future here in West Virginia.
Yeah, dude. That doesn't exist out here, bro. So, dude, that's wild. I don't have much that's grinding my gears lately.
You didn't write anything on this list. I'm going to carry the whole weight of this segment.
I wrote one, and it's just it may be an exclusive me thing. For me, dude, one thing that really grinds my gears, and it's almost like an obsessive compulsive thing. I cannot stand wrinkly clothes. A wrinkled shirt, a wrinkled pant, a wrinkled jacket, any sort of wrinkle. I could be going literally nowhere. I could be going to the liquor store to buy a can of chew, and I will have the steamer set up because I have a wrinkle in
Oh,
my
my
shirt.
man's a steamer. Shut
Bro,
up.
bro, I have a steamer. It's a little tiny little steamer that I got from
I messed
China.
with the steamer
Yeah.
from China. Did you get it off Temu?
Nah, dude. I don't know even know. I think I got it off Amazon, but it's from China.
Old
And
Teamrin Davis.
but it's my little steamer, dude. And I make sure there's no wrinkles, dude. It drives me bananas. Same thing with like a small little stain or a smudge on a shirt. Like most
Oh,
people can
yeah,
go
I
by on that. I can't do it, dude. I'll hyper focus on it and I it'll ruin my day. And Ash looks at me like I'm a fucking loon, but dude, I just can't do it. Grinds my gears, man. Got to have no wrinkles in the shirt. And if there's a smudge, it's got to go. So there's my one and done for today, Haas.
Dude, I will go to the store looking homeless and wrinkly as fuck because I give absolutely zero fucks.
Dude, you walk around in wrinkly ass shirts?
Yeah, I do. Once in a while.
Dude.
I mean,
Yeah.
if I'm just running to the store and it just pulled it out of my drawer, I don't give a fuck.
Drives me nuts. Can't do it.
All right. So here's one that I've been thinking about a lot that really fires me up. So you're at, let's say, a stoplight and the light turns green. You're maybe, let's say, the third or fourth car back, and the person at the front is not going, right? So you honk as the fourth car, and the person in the car directly in front of you goes, well, what am I supposed to do? It's not me. I'm not going. Hey, motherfucker, did you ever think I'm not fucking honking at you? Did you ever just take one fucking second to realize I'm honking at the dickhead in the front that's not going? Did you realize that sound travels past your vehicle to the motherfucker in the front that's not going? What makes you think I'm honking at you? What makes you think that I think that you control the two cars in front of you? Stop getting offended and freaking out right in front of me because clearly this message is not for you. If you're not the one who's not at the front, not going, this message is not for you.
Dude, I am a
You know what I'm
universal.
talking about?
Oh no, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I am a universal dude. If you hit me with the horn, you're lucky that I'm not a concealed carry person because I would probably shoot you in the face. It makes me that mad, dude. Like I swear to God, man. Do not hit me with the horn, dude. I don't care if you had like, especially if it's like the light turned green and it's been like 2.5 seconds and I'm just setting my phone down because I've been sitting at this red light for eternity. And you give me the little honk, dude, I want to literally end your entire bloodline, bro. Like, do not hit the Kree with the fucking horn, bro. Do not, dude.
So
Do not.
you are the guy that I'm talking about.
I am that guy, dude. I at that point, dude. Guess what, Raptor man? I'm gonna sit here as that car goes, and you're gonna fucking wait for another red light. You fucking asshole! Don't you,
know
dare
what's
honk at
funny
me.
is so am I. I'll wait until it turns yellow and then go, so you can't fucking go.
Exactly, dude. Is there anything better than the asshole behind you who's trying to fucking speed past you and then you just go the exact same speed as the car that's next to you and you trap them?
Yeah.
There are simple things in life like that bring me so much joy, dude.
And then they finally ski skirt around you, race off, and then you fucking pull up next to them at the stoplight and you do the old Kermit the Frog, like, "Hey, bud. How far'd you get, pal? Did you get so big and far? My big tough man, did you make it so far?"
Yeah, they're usually speeding up right to that red light, like you just said. That's one of the finer joys in life is doing that to those assholes. But yeah, don't ever honk at me. I will kill you.
The next one, I gotta say, dude, there are remnants of my California-ness that remain. And there's something that just stabs me right in the California. So we order our groceries from Walmart and they deliver them.
Mhm.
And these motherfuckers, dude, put everything, let me say it again, everything in its own separate plastic bag.
Oh,
I'm talking about like, I got 2 taco seasonings in their own fucking bag. Like,
what?
literally every item that we have, every item that we purchase comes in a separate single bag. And the California in me's just like, oh my fuck. And just like as like a normal human, like that's unnecessary.
Yeah,
Like
why are we doing
this?
that? What is going on?
Dude, every single item, and you have random shit like a box of Pop-Tarts, one bag by itself, 4 apples, one bag by itself, a box of pasta, one bag by
Bro,
itself.
they're putting Pop-Tarts in a fucking plastic bag?
Everything, every single last thing in its own individual bag. I had an order where it was like maybe 2 things they combined and put in a bag together, and other than that, every single individual thing like in a bag.
Oh, dude, as if putting groceries away wasn't painful enough as it is, you then got to unbag like everything like it's Christmas morning. What is happening out there, dude? That's the craziest shit I've ever heard of.
Kristen and I talked about it, and then the next time I was like, "You forgot to put the note, didn't you?"
Dude, the bag thing is blowing my mind, bro. I got to sit here and I got to like marinate on this, dude. That's earth shattering to me. That makes no sense at all.
I'm gonna send you a picture next time. All right, man. Well, I think we've probably talked more about that than anybody cared to hear. So
it's just literally, I don't understand the logic behind it. What an incredible waste of time. Like, be like, hey, not only do we have to pack up all these groceries for this asshole who's too lazy to come to the store, but now we have to put fucking taco seasoning packets in fucking separate bags. Like, what are we doing, dude? Like, come on. Anyways.
All right, but everyone's already stopped listening. I'm real intrigued, dude. What the fuck is this unintentional sack?
All right, dude. Last night, I get out of the shower. Okay, I'm really gonna set the scene for everybody. Okay, and I'm in my room, and I'm getting dressed, and you're drying off, and as I'm putting on like my underwear, I kind of turn around, and Addison came around the corner. Okay. So this is just the thing. This is just parenting shit, okay? And I thought she was out there watching TV, okay? So I go in there into the kitchen. It's about bedtime, and she literally comes up to me, dude, and goes, "What's that?" And is pointing at my junk, dude. And I'm like, "What do you mean, sweetheart?" And she's like, "That thing that's hanging down from the back by your butt." And I'm like, what do you mean? And I know what she's talking about.
I'm trying to buy time.
In my mind, I'm literally
trying to figure it out.
Dude, my daughter is asking me about my beanbag. How the fuck do I bring this up to her and explain this to her, dude? So literally, dude, it's like, yeah, it's like skin that was like right by your butt. And I'm literally sitting here. I'm like, okay, dude, I gotta keep it real here, dude. I gotta keep it real. So I literally had to have the conversation with my 4.5-year-old daughter in the kitchen last night about.
Boys have a penis, and girls have
all
a
because she came around the
vagina.
corner and saw my wrinkly old sack as I'm putting on my boxer briefs last night, dude. So I had to tell her. I said, "Hey, you notice how Graham has different private parts, right?" And she's like, yeah. I was like, boys and girls have different private parts. She goes, yeah, but yours was longer than Graham's. And I was like, sweetheart, don't say that to me. I was like, don't say that to me, dude. I was like, you don't need to worry about this. I was like, you and mom have the same thing. Boys have the same thing, and we're all good, dude. Can we go out on the couch and watch some Bluey, please, for the love of Christ, dude? The other day I had a conversation with her, dude, about why smoking's bad, and then she's sitting there freaking out about cigarette smokers because Bonnie puffs cigarettes, and she was freaking out. So yeah, dude, that was my story last night. I had to explain why boys have balls.
Nice. All right. Well, last and probably most important, we want to thank everyone who's supported us throughout this whole year. Another one that I got to say is Cindy Dorn. She was one of the first people to message me and shoot me some pointers, and she's shared a lot of stuff throughout. She's gone back and forth with me about things that could be helpful, and she's just been a really big supporter. So that's been awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We also have Samantha Faith. She was one of the first people to buy merch. I saw her at convention wearing our merch, which was super sick. Scott Shaw, of course. We have an advertiser coming up, but he won't return my calls. So who else, man? Britt's always been there. Mercedes has always been there.
Yeah. Who else? We had Josiah, Chris Foss, all those guys. I wanted to get into my thanks as well, so I'm going to regurgitate everything Henry just said. Shout out to like Austin, who's given us a lot of feedback. The oscillator's been huge. Thank you so much for everybody who has subscribed to this podcast. You guys are fantastic. Anybody who has bought merch, you have really helped us get into StreamYard and do all these things that we're trying to do. JB, everybody, if you've been a listener to this show and you mustered up the courage to hit the follow button and you maybe told somebody about it, we love you more than you know. And I hope that you stick around and you are here to see the next evolution of Rude Dude. We're still going to stay the same, but we're going to be a little bit different because we want to keep growing. So like Hen always likes to say, stick around and grow with us. We're a big family. And we really do love you all very much. And thank you so much for being here with us this first year. It really means a lot to me, and I know it does for him.
Yeah, man, and we're just gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going until this is our job. That's the goal. So thank you everyone for your support. I'm sure we're forgetting people. If we are, it's not intentional. We love you. And we're probably gonna finish recording and realize everyone that we forgot. But yeah, man, thank you so much from the bottom of our heart, everybody who's supported us so far, and stick around for us to keep growing. And how about the big announcement for the new segment we're gonna have, Cam?
Okay, so for people in recovery, you know what this is. There is a little thing that we like to call war stories. And we are making a roll call for all of our listeners who are in recovery, or, maybe you're in and out of recovery and you got a couple good war stories. We want to implement a new segment near the end of each show called the War Story of the Day or something along those lines. We haven't decided the exact name. What we need from you guys is to send us in a quick little war story, a quick little story of something you were doing when you were running and gunning. The funnier, the better would be ideal. We do prefer that you are actually sober, though, so that we can end these stories on a positive note. We have an email. It is Rude Dude Pod. We'll link it in the show description here. We can keep your name either anonymous or we can read your name aloud. Let us know in the description of the letter and be a part of the new segment. I think it's going to be fun. And what do you think about that segment?
Yeah, preferably let's send them to the email rudedudepod@gmail.com. And like Cameron said, if you want us to use your name, we'll use your name. If you don't want us to use your name, we absolutely will not. We can keep it anonymous. But I do want to drive home that we are a show of hope and recovery. So we do need the happy ending. We need, now I got my driver's license back. Now I've been clean for a month, 3 months, 6 months, 2 years, 5 years. Now I got my kids back. Now, whatever it is, send us off with some hope because that is the purpose of this podcast. But we need those wild stories because the other thing is we do have a lot of normies that listen, and for them, our stories are extra wild. We've heard them, but yeah, as crazy as you can make them, when you almost died and you're still here standing, and you ripped off the dope man and you crashed the car and you jumped out and left it and swam through a pond and an alligator chased you. We need those stories.
And I know some of you people got them too. I know you
got them.
So Cass, I need another one of those. Please send some of us some of your war stories. We're going to be collecting them over the next 3 to 4 weeks before we actually release the segment. And I think that's all we got this week. What did we decide that we were going to push on them this week? I've already said YouTube about 27 times. Should we just stick with that?
Yeah, let's make it the YouTube. Let's go to YouTube and subscribe.
Please.
This episode, we've got a lot of eye candy for you. We got taco meat. I got some balloons and shit. Cameron's look is it's incredible. He should be at Fashion Week in Milan with this look, flying in on a spaceship. So go to the YouTube, Rude Dude Pod, and check out the channel, like, subscribe, all that jazz. That's what we need you to do this week.
Yep. And we appreciate it very, very much. And I guess we can finish it like we always do. Hen, I want to say one final thing before we do, though. I'm very proud of us. Thank you for being my partner for this full year. On to the next one, brother. The next evolution of Rude Dude. And I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else. So thanks for doing it with me, and thanks for holding me accountable. I love you very much, brother.
I love you too, Cam, and thank you. I'm also very proud of us to put out one episode every week. I believe it was every week without fail. We did the solo episodes when one of us was gone, or, I interviewed Charlie, you interviewed Michael. So for us to be consistent and stick with it, I think that's the most important part, and everything else will fall into place. And remember, be yourself and fuck what they think. And thank you for riding with the Rude Dudes.
And now, 1 year in the books. Later, dude.
Later, Dad.
Because I know life goes on, and I know life goes on. What I check it, I know life goes on, and I know life suffers.